All right. Second semi-final of Div 1. Juba versus Cocho versus Heine versus Josss. Three spam players versus one of the greatest Dirt players ever. It's difficult to say if he's the greatest or not because he never played at the same time as like Boss Wanted, Pepino, and he never really. He wasn't in his prime when the Dirt scene was lively with Papu and Fire and everyone. So it's impossible to tell right now if he's just like as good as Papu and Boss Wanted and Pepino, or if he's ahead or if he's behind. Or Furox. So you think Furox, the second player when Cocho wins, will have 62 points? I think you might be slightly over... Maybe not. You might not be slightly overestimating it because Josss is on fire. Juba can also have a good performance. I don't know how good Juba will do, to be honest. For Heine, it'll be difficult to keep up. He's definitely the underdog in this, and the question is between Josss and Juba who will prevail for second place. I would say Josss is the favorite, but we'll see. Yeah, indeed, if Cocho gets too many first places. Anyway, same principle as for every match so far. The rules will only change for tomorrow. 80 points, cup mode. 5-3-2-1 for the cup system. Cocho, Juba, Heine, Josss. Let's go with Heine for the first round on Me Gustas 2 by Olikyo. Cocho is way too close to the uphill, but he never touches and he keeps going. He's in the lead in front of Josss after 20 seconds. Heine third, Juba dropped a bit behind. Okay, so Cocho geared down in the banking. I was listening to the gears. Josss geared up but didn't gear up early. He geared down after he clips even there in the inside, and Heine will be the only one following Cocho. 0.35 for Cocho, but who got a gear down in the banking. Josss briefly over to Cocho, but then had a bad gear up, gear down situation on the off-road, and Heine ends up overtaking after Joss' mistake, while Juba was trailing behind for the entire run. Let's go with the Portuguese driver from Team Spam. Joss, very risky first uphill. But no clipping, same for Cocho. Joss is one of the very few drivers who can keep up with Cocho, especially on this kind of map. We have Juba gearing down. Let's go in front, see how it's going. Joss takes the lead, but for how long? And will he keep it? Oh, Cocho, cleaner line. Joss had to adjust a little bit. And Cocho has good entry here. Good speed with his Swedish car. And good ending. And again, you see Cocho. It's interesting. Cocho is getting full inside and getting the grip. Very early on the 10th. But he doesn't lose. You don't have time due to the turn to accumulate speed in the right-hander for the ending, so going inside on the 10th is actually worse. So Cocho with a little trick explained earlier with Weedy and the FF players, and Cocho is now 0.1 ahead, while we had Juba dying. Juba seems to be undertrained so far, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, he DNF'd even. Okay, that's a terrible start of the map for Juba. 2 last places and... Oh, Joss! Turtling over. And Heine will take another second place. While Cocho, first. I mean, the question is, how many first places will Cocho not have? That would be another bet we could do. Like, will Cocho not reach 80 points by the end of map 4? Oh, I think it will be worse than 62 points, Furox. I think it will be. Let's go with Juba, who got a decent start here, but... Oh, Joss and Cocho. Joss is... able... On that's interesting. Joss clearly has... He's an incredibly skilled driver. And he's able to keep up with the best on certain sections. Oh, Joss geared up correctly. I stopped my sentence to listen to Joss gear, and he geared up correctly here. I was worried it would be too late, but it's actually good, and he's keeping up with Cocho. But Cocho's just too fast. Yeah, the lead Cocho took early on was too big, and Cocho, 4 rounds, 4 wins. The question is, how long will it keep going? How many rounds will Cocho not win is the question in this match. And it's interesting because, as I said, Joss is an incredibly skilled driver, and on certain section he's able to drive basically every section as fast as the very best, but he's not able to drive every section perfectly over the course of an entire map. Whereas Cocho is able to do that. Firestorm is able to do that. Joss lacks this extra bit of consistencies that the very top players have, and we see Cocho in the warm-up clipping on that side. But definitely Cocho is a very... Joss, excuse me, is a very strong driver. An incredibly skilled driver. Yes, the +1 is terrible. This is something we discussed earlier with Pinda and Joss in the chat. The 5-3-2-1 scoring system is not bad. It's 10-6-3-2 4-3, excuse me, 10-6-4-3 divided by 2. But 5 is 10 divided by 2, 6. 3 is 6 divided by 2. 2 is 4 divided by 2, but 1 is not 3 divided by 2. And so the last place, even if we were to make the match on, let's say on a 60 points basis with 4 players, would in average be longer than a 120 point cup mode with 10-6-4-3 as a scoring system. And this means that in average, the last player is punished more per round than any other driver in the scoring system. The first place, second place, and third place are equally rewarding. Oh, just with a mistake. But the last place is very punishing. And we've seen it on several matches. I think going for 5-3-2. Oh, Juba! Huge mistake. He was too inside on the first part of the chicane and bonked it the second part. And interestingly, Cocho made a mistake. Can Cocho lose a round to Heine? Heine, is he the hero we were all waiting for? Heine denied the first place with Cocho. With a .22, that's a very good time, .222. Even great round by Heine. I didn't say, I think Cocho lost quite a bit in the chicane and the overall 2 banking section, but Yeah, there's a lot to say about the format here, Furox. But we'll discuss that during the warm-ups and after this map. And Cocho's decided to how can I put it in English? To put the clock back in place, if I can say it like this. He's now in the lead. Juba made mistakes. Heine made mistakes. No, Heine did not just make mistakes. And Heine is keeping up. And Heine has a very good double banking plus chicane section. Sadly, he lost a bit of speed here, but oh, he clips on the inside on the block, gets some airtime, slides out. And this round is for Cocho this time with a 58.05. Cocho is decided. He's maybe Heine, like, you know, tickled a bit Cocho. Now Cocho's like, I won't accept that. Cocho up to a great start. Juba's not really trained, which is surprising to me because he's one of the players I've seen the most playing in like the past 2 months since I came back on the game. But he didn't. A lot of players didn't train much or weren't much motivated for this comp, and this shows here with Juba, who's trailing 0.6 behind. Heine was a bit behind, but he has this spots really good, the same lines as Weedy, while Josss is going outside for more speed, but Heine, it's just getting this better, and we saw the same thing between Weedy and Firestone. Going outside is not necessarily it's more risky, but Josss has a better ending and will overtake 57.784 by Cocho. Not on the level of the 0.703 scored by Firestorm earlier, but Cocho's well trained. We can definitely feel he played good. Oh, Juba, he's too much inside. It's happening all the time. For the 4th round in a row, he's going too inside. Josss has a very good start, keeping up with Cocho. Let's see the battle between the two. Cocho, a lot of speed in the downhill, but slides out a bit, and Josss goes from plus 0.18 to minus 0.01, but Josss goes too wide again. That's exactly what I was saying earlier. This line gives you more speed, but it's so much more difficult to optimize. It's perfect for time attack. This is probably the optimal line, but for matches, it's so hard to keep this high speed chicane line efficient than going slightly lower like Weedy does, like Cocho does now. Helps you to gather more speed for the off-road turn and the tech full speed bit. We saw that already before with Firestorm and Weedy. Okay, gathering more speed is ultimately the best strat if you do it perfectly. But in average, players get it less good than the players choosing the inside line, and the inside line seems to be overall better for the moment. So yeah, Furox, coming back to the semi-finals is 8-7, 6-5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which is weird because now first places won't have a lot of how can I say impact, and wait until you get into the finalist mode. So getting consistent will be the most important thing, and then you'll have the grand final. The grand final is going to be hella long. Wait, the grand final is The grand final is going to last more than an hour. The point limit is 160. Oh, jeez. Oh, the grand final is going to be so incredibly long. The point limit is 160? Oh. Okay, I'm scared. Anyway, let's come back to this match, to Lagavulin by Slays, which is a map on which Cocho was dominating last week, and I think this is by far the one map where he'll be stomping the most the other players. Everyone's having a good start. I think everyone geared down. Joss saved his low speed turn by air braking. This is something we saw earlier with some other player, I believe in the first Div 1 semi-final. Air brake to get the nose down and not lose speed. Everyone is having all these turns rather good. It's actually very neck and neck. Heine and Juba are keeping up with Cocho for the moment. Just trailing slightly behind Juba. Oh, Heine! Huge mistake by Heine! And Juba maintains second place behind Cocho, just third. Cocho, I dare say only 0.5. I believe he was like on a point in bit. He was 0.3, 0.4 pace last weekend. He is only 0.519. You know, the plebeians have an opportunity to keep up with him. It's 5.9 is still an incredible time. Alarm! Alarm! Cocho made a mistake. Cocho's last. Cocho made another mistake. Cocho is dead last. 0.6 behind. Don't count him out though, because the tiniest mistakes from the people in front of him, and he can still gain something. He's now 0.9 behind. Cocho maybe losing, not winning, I should say, a second round in this match, still 0.9 behind. Juba finally finding some good pace on this map. And mistakes for Heine. Cocho overtakes him for third, while Juba is on a great pace here. Juba, who was struggling on the... No way!
Ah! You're dead!
Juba was on a great pace. He was on a 0.4 pace, 0.5, 0.4 pace, and he didn't even know about the safe-in, so he scores nothing. Mine should have been up to 18 points, and instead, Joss takes it. Cocho is second. In 10 rounds, Cocho has won 8 of them. 80% round win rate so far for the French player. And Cocho's trailing at the back for the moment. Heine in the mix with Cocho. It's neck and neck. Everyone is driving this map so good for the moment. It's much tighter than what we saw in the first semi-final, where Weedy and Firestorm dominated. And here, what do you want to say? Everyone is neck and neck. Heine dropped a bit now, Juba as well, and Cocho is making the move. He went all the way to first now, from last to first by Cocho on the second half of this map, but Joss has a lot of speed, and Joss might snipe, and Joss will snipe. The win rate of Cocho is falling like crazy right now. A third round win denied. Oh, Juba with the small clip in the start. We'll come back to the 160-point grand final incident later, but that's... I dare say it, it's dumb. It's dumb because the match is going to be way too long. Unless Cocho wins all the rounds, but you know. Anyway, we saw a couple of mistakes, especially from Juba very early on. He DNF'd again. Juba's mindset is flush down the toilet. Josss is in the lead. Cocho is not so quick. Stop talking to me in game and talk with all the other people in the chat fast. Stop being while we see Cocho making mistakes, and Cocho, this is incredible. 3 rounds in a row that Cocho did not win. Cocho is sick. Check Cocho's PC. What does this guy say? Then create a new account. What do you mean? Say hello too fast in the chat. Okay, I'm getting some water while Giga Chat Cocho is chilling in his match. You know what? Cocho is chilling after 3 maps. Bro has 51 points out of 60 in 3 maps and he's chilling. I'd like to chill like him, you know? Yeah, French guy talking. I mean, I am here to provide fun, entertainment, and good broadcasting quality, commentary quality in English of the matches. And if you're jealous, if you're mad, you have the right to tell it. You know, if you have critics. The 62-point prediction to Furox is indeed looking better and better. Oh, wait! I missed that in the warm-up. Cocho just chilling. He's chilling. Remember, he's chilling. Okay? He just drove 55.967, so almost world record while chilling. And look at that, how better is this inside line with drift while someone died. It was Heine who died. But here another proof, if we needed it, that the drift over the blue line is the slightly better option. Nah, Cocho actually can't go that much faster in this on this map. Jesus Christ! Look at him! Look at him! Josss is driving good, you know. Josss is legit driving good. But what can you do against Cocho? He's on an insane time again. He raised the bar so high in terms of actual look. I can't wait for look at this. Joss line is correct, is not bad, and Cocho gain point 15 on him. And Juba and Heine are fighting behind. Good line by Joss. He's slightly catching up to Cocho, but Cocho still kept a lot of speed and has a crazy good line here. Just slightly caught up, but then Cocho has more speed, and we arrive in the end. Good line by Joss, 0.24 behind to 0.18 behind, but it must be so demoralizing for Joss. Joss is legit driving great, And he's light years behind Cocho. Dirty who? Dirty what? Cocho is by far much better than Dirty. Dirty, as far as I know, but I haven't seen him in matches recently. I'd say Dirty is in the same pool of talents as Weedy, as Firestorm, as Joss. Maybe like at the top of this pool, maybe, but Cocho is ahead. And Joss, Juba, Heine are not driving bad, but it's so hard to keep up with the... Let's look, because it's crazy. Let's look at that. Oh, he saved it! He went safe! What a pussy! Look at that, only 0.11. Only 0.11. What do you want? This guy is washed. Oh, by the way, thank you, Fast, for telling me I'm a great broadcaster. I hadn't seen the message. Fast better than Cocho? I wish it was true, but maybe a 4th round that Cocho will not win. It's like his 4th mistake on the entire match. But what's crazy is that when Cocho makes a mistake, it's a small mistake. He is a trained driver after all, that's right. He knows about consistency with small clip. He's dead!
Ah! You're dead!
Cocho is still human after all. In the meantime, Joss pulled ahead by quite a lot. Heine is driving good as well. Heine is having a good match, but it's so tough to keep up with Joss as well. Heine he's still, wow. He's still like putting on a good show, but Joss is a bit ahead. First map rotation done. Cocho only 67 points out of 80 possible so far. Just 50. He's on a good match. And the 62 points prediction by Furox could happen. We're not supposed to have warm-up here. No, it's not a big deal, but just to remind about it. He's just protecting the passengers, right, Ferox? I mean, at this point, we're always celebrating when Cocho is making a mistake. That's when you're happy when the best players make a mistake. That shows how insane they are. Great start by Joss. He's actually ahead of Cocho. Juba has a good start as well. Heine for the moment 4th. Oh, Cocho! Very risky line. Can he overtake Joss? He does! Let's look at the battle between the two. Madman! Cocho made another mistake. He dropped to 3rd. Cocho can falter under the pressure. He is human after all. Daft Punks were right, we're all human after all. And Joss is up to 55 and might actually have more points than 62. But again, Cocho is just chilling. He's a chill train driver. Remember. Oh, this first uphill is so clean, and here he has this line so good together with Joss. Heine and Juba are not ridiculous behind, but the two madmen in front just have perfect lines in the start, and they are absolutely neck and neck. Ooh, Cocho had low speed even, but here he went for the line with a tiny no slide. Joss, good speed, didn't lose time. Joss is locked in right now. This is probably Joss' best map from what I've seen so far. And he's able to keep up with Cocho. Great time. 54.16, and since Cocho is chilling, he's a bit shaky, you know. Making a couple of mistakes, you know. The two favorites in this match are clearly pulling ahead. Heine can't keep up for the first places, and it's completely normal. Like, Heine shouldn't be. Oh, it's Juba, I believe, who made a huge mistake. Yes, it's him. And Juba should not be ashamed. I mean, Heine shouldn't be ashamed of his performance. For Juba, I think his lack of training clearly shows. Oh, Joss had a very inside line. Heine catches up a bit. Joss with a huge mistake. He would only score 1 point here, while Cocho is on a sick pace once again. Cocho, oh, he had a bad end. What happened for him to have such a bad end here? Maybe he clipped the wall. Oh, and Juba made another mistake, and so Joss takes third place. Furox's prediction is not is beaten already. The question is, will we reach the 68 that Neroche told about? Tiny mistake on the ledge by Heine. He lost quite a lot, but he saved it. Cocho is on a banger start. Oh, I'm sorry, but let's admire the master in action. Oh, he geared down! I was so surprised to see him turn that much. I was like, wait, is it a good line? And he geared down. But he still had a huge margin. Oh, Heine was not able to catch up all the way. Wait, he can snipe! He does snipe! Juba. Not that it really matters, but it's still sexy, you know? Cocho, finalist. Cocho needs one more round win to secure his spot in the grand final. As usual, the top two of this match goes in the Div 1 grand final. The bottom two is relegated to the lower bracket grand final. Ten-second warm-up. Just so you know, Zaliox, there's regulations for train drivers, and they must follow signs, speed limits, and a lot of stuff. So Cocho can't drive his trains in real life like he drives his car. And Cocho, perfect start from the man. Juba, dead last for the moment, but he's not out of the picture. We can see him still popping up his head. Oh, Cocho, I'm sorry, but all eyes on him. All eyes on him. He's on a beast of a pace so far. Oh, that's great. And he... Oh, this is beauty. This is a crazy... Oh, Joss has a ton of speed, but his approach in this turn is going to be bad. He's going to lose a lot. while Cocho 57.95, sub 58 time to close it out. It took him one more map than I expected him to win it, but impressive still, impressive from Cocho. And Neroche was right. The second player just has 68 points. Heine third on 46. Juba is dead last on 26. Juba is having a terrible day. But Juba is clearly undertrained. For Heine, it's just too difficult because for second place he must keep up with Joss. We saw Juba here with a mistake. I'm still quite biased, you know, in this match and chilling in my broadcast because there's like a lot of gaps between the different players, and especially on this map, Joss is the. I mean, no, Joss is not the only one able to keep up with great time because we saw Heine on the first time we played this map on this match, able to keep up, but I think Heine nerves caught up to him after maps 3 and 4, where he was not able to drive as fast as he was on the two first on when we played Fallow and Me Gustas 2 for the first time. Joss with the round win is getting closer. He's 7 points away. So a round win and a third place will do it, and he has a great start. At this point, he's cruising towards his grand final qualification. And it's funny, you know, it's something I wanted to discuss a bit earlier. It's funny how much the seeding of the first, of the time attack phase had impact all the way to these semifinals, because we ended up with two very unbalanced semifinals in Div 1, where Firestorm and Weedy were clearly above of Trifui and Zer in the first semifinal. In the second semifinal, you have Joss and Cocho, who are an entire division above as well. These guys are not fighting in the same league. Perhaps a full trained Juba could have a say, but his training is not here. Was it because of a lack of motivation? Was it because of personal life issues? It's none of our business. But it gives us, yeah, two unbalanced matches, and you have some drivers eliminated in the quarterfinals that would have been able to keep up more overall, I think, with all due respect to the four losing semi-finalists here. Oh, just with a huge mistake, Heine as well. Juba might get his first round win here. Juba trained a bit, but not that much, so... And he is having a decent time. Sub 59. Doesn't matter though for Joss, because after his previous round win, he only needed to finish this round to reach finalists. And this match will probably end here on Lagavulin. Let's see if Heine and Juba can deny, for how long they can deny Joss, but Joss has, like last week, Joss has been very, very impressive. There we go. Probably final map of this semi-final, excuse me. Juba having a better start than Joss. Oh, Juba kept the gear but landed too far on the left, while Heine made a huge mistake in the start. So it's all about Juba is too far. All eyes on Joss at this point. Either Joss makes a mistake, either Joss is in the grand final together with Cocho, Weedy, and Firestorm. And yeah, 0.5 ahead, nothing can happen unless he full stops in the tunnel like he did last week, but he does not. And Joss wins this round. He gets second behind Cocho, and Heine and Juba are relegated to the loser bracket final, which will happen tomorrow. Congratulations to all drivers. Not a bad performance by Heine, but Joss and Cocho just way too fast. And Juba, sadly, because Juba is a very, very good driver and he's able to drive much, much better than this. So I'm really, really sad for him. I hope he'll have a better showing tomorrow. Best of luck to Heine and Juba in the loser bracket final, and of course Cocho and Joss. Wish them all the best for the grand final tomorrow, 9 PM.